This weekend, NASCAR heads to the Lone Star State for some Cup and nationwide racing. Will the Cup Series have another new winner following Sunday's race, or will there be a repeat victor for the first time this season? And will the Cup regulars continue to dominate down in the Nationwide Series, or will a nationwide regular win the race? Only Reagan Smith has won for that group so far this year. The only way to see what happens is to tune into the races this weekend, but first, NASCAR 5 will bring you news, results, schedules, and more. That's all coming up. The information you need relating to the sport you love, all within 5 minutes. NASCAR 5 starts right now. Hello everyone, welcome to NASCAR 5. I'm Bryce Turner. First up, we'll look back at Cup and Truck Series racing from Martinsville. Kurt Busch won the STP 500, finishing one position ahead of 8-time Martinsville winner Jimmie Johnson. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Joey Logano, and Marcos Ambrose rounded out the top 5. Meanwhile, NASCAR's most popular driver Dale Jr. is back atop the standings, leading Matt Kenseth by 9 points. Carl Edwards is 10 points back in 3rd, Jeff Gordon 11 back in 4th, and Jimmie Johnson 18 back in 5th. More post-race coverage from Martinsville at carnuts.ca under closed wheel racing. Matt Crafton won the Kroger 250 Truck Series race after it was postponed to late afternoon last Sunday. The reigning champion was followed across the start finish line by Darrell Wallace Jr. and Ben Kennedy. Timothy Peters and Johnny Sauter are tied atop the point standings by 4 over Matt Crafton and Ryan Blaney. It's time now for a news update. Starting off with some post-race news and the war of words between Brad Keselowski and former teammate Kurt Busch. The two got involved in a pit road wreck early in Sunday's STP 500, leaving Keselowski with damage that sent his number 2 Team Penske Ford behind the wall while Kurt worked his way up to the front of the field and won the race. After the incident, Brad commented, quote, "If you're going to be aggressive, wreck yourself, don't wreck me," end quote. Keselowski went on to say, "I'll remember that when it's lap 50 and he needs a break," end quote. Meanwhile, Kurt commented, quote, "Yeah, I can't believe he overreacted and he's as upset as he is," end quote. Busch then went on to talk about the incident and in-race battle before adding, quote, "He will get what he gets back when I decide to give it back," end quote. And those are Kurt's exact words. In other news, Brian France noted a future change to engines during an interview with SiriusXM NASCAR Radio. France said, quote, We also have to be in step as much as possible with the car manufacturers and where they're going with technology and different things. It all has to come together, and that's the next significant part of the rules package," end quote. Later in the interview, France said flat out that, quote, "The engine will get a significant change," end quote. There's no word yet on when or where the change will occur. Horsepower is being rumored to change. The engines are currently 850 HP. NASCAR 5 will keep you up to date on this developing story. A few quick headlines now. First up, the fan vote towards the 2015 NASCAR Hall of Fame inductee selection is now open. Fans can vote online at NASCAR.com/Hall of Fame until Tuesday, May 20th at noon Eastern Time. According to NASA release, as reported at FoxSports.com, an unidentified NASCAR team tested at the Kennedy Space Center on the 3.2-mile-long runway. The reason behind the session, which was held on the same day as some NASA-related tests, is unknown. After the Cup race at Fontana a couple of weeks ago, IndyCar driver Graham Rahal asked Dale Earnhardt Jr. about the possibility of the two drivers trying out each other's rides. Earnhardt likes the idea, but doesn't think it's possible with the competition between the two drivers' manufacturers, Earnhardt and Chevy, Rahal and Honda. We'll keep you up to date on this story. A reminder that the next edition of NASCAR 5 will be posted next Friday, April 11th. But first, to wrap things up, this weekend's schedule. That's next. Here's a look at which races we'll be previewing for you next week here on NASCAR 5. The Nationwide Series is up first at Texas Motor Speedway with the O'Reilly Auto Parts 300. The race is tonight at about 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time with coverage on ESPN2, TSN2, the Performance Racing Network, and SiriusXM. Qualifying is today at 4 p.m. Eastern Time and will air on Fox Sports 1. Then on Sunday, the Sprint Cup Series takes to the track with the Duck Commander 500. The race starts at about 3 p.m. Eastern Time with coverage airing on Fox, TSN, PRN, and SiriusXM. Qualifying will take place tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time and will air on Fox Sports 2. Thanks for watching this week's edition of NASCAR 5. I'm Bryce Turner. Enjoy the races.